Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me, whether you're joining me today, May 8th, live, or you're watching this recording after the fact. Thank you for giving your time and your energy to this webinar. Decided to do a webinar kind of just on the fly to talk about some of the amazing transitions that our planet is going through right now, particularly in the great state of Hawaii, where I am on Kauai, the action that's happening on the Big Island. But really the action that's happening as the Hawaiian Islands are kind of a gateway for the world. And because it's always micro to the macro, meaning we're the microcosm of the macrocosm of the earth and the cosmic events that take place on this planet, of course, we are going to be affected in some significant and subtle and some not so subtle ways. Whenever the earth goes through big changes and transitions, it always brings up a lot of that kind of like fear in many of us of, what's going to happen, kind of that fear and the unknown. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and how to ground yourself and how to move past the fear and then kind of into like the awe of what's happening in this moment. We're going to talk about Taurus moving into, or Uranus moving into Taurus in about a week, and the significance that cosmic event will begin to play out on the micro and the macrocosmic, field. And I'll give you guys some tools and some hints about how you can understand and navigate and manage many of these things that are happening. Our left brain wants answers, right? Our left brain wants to understand. Our right brain is that abstract, creative, imaginative, force. And our left brain wants the facts, and it wants to know and it wants to understand. So you can tell the right brain, you're safe, it's fine, whatever. But the left brain is like, wait a minute, what about me? I don't feel good about that as an answer, as a concept. Give me some tools. So I'm really good at helping people bring practicality into their everyday life and spirituality and the way we kind of move and navigate our meat suits through this reality. First, I want to share a few things that are going on in my world, in Ameera's world. I will be hosting a retreat on the island of Kauai in September. I have named it the beautiful Kauai Aloha Retreat. Calling it the Aloha Retreat for many reasons. The main reason is that I plan to donate 10% of the proceeds of the registration fee I'll probably give it to Malama Kauai, who is busy funding and cleaning up the mess, the big flooding incident that happened a few weeks ago up on the North Shore. There's a lot of people up there who still need assistance and supplies, and just the general caretaking of the island. Malama Kauai does a lovely, lovely job. And so to give back to the island, to be here and also give back to the island in the way of some monetary funds and even some of our time and energy, maybe spending an afternoon together, cleaning a beach, or doing something for the Aina that will support us during the beautiful Aloha Kauai retreat. If you're interested in that, you can go to my website, ameerabeth.com. It's under the tab Retreats. There's all the information you need to know for the 6-day adventure that we will have on this island. I don't have a lot of, quote, ceremony and healing things planned. There will be a couple meditations and a few things that we'll do together for unification and to anchor into the land. But this land is healing all by itself. Really, all we have to do is show up and give our sacred yes to Mama Kauai and what she has to offer, and be present for ourselves and one another and for her and the healing just happens. So there'll be some cool like a horseback ride venture to a waterfall, and we'll go out and see the dolphins on the Nepali coast and the Kauai caves. And I have all kinds of amazing activities planned, but mostly it's an opportunity for you and I to come together on this blessed island and just like reap her great benefits. You know, this is Lemuria. This is home to people's souls, to so many people's souls. So that's the main agenda, joy. You know, the main agenda for me, when you do anything with me, it's a return or remembrance of joy, which is the prime directive of our soul. So that's one thing. The second thing is I'll be hosting a sacred geometry, an intro to sacred geometry course on May 20th. And that'll be a live webinar with me. It'll be about 3 hours. And I will teach you the basic of sacred geometry, how to integrate sacred G into your life. And we'll also work with the archangels, namely with Metatron. So that happens on May 20th, and that's also on my website, on the homepage. And lastly, I'm offering 20% off of all sessions this month. If you'd like to have a session with me, 20% off on whatever you might need, whatever your soul might need in the month of May. So having said that, that's all the commercials you hear from me today. Thank you. Back to the agenda of this video, which is staying grounded, staying sane, staying stable, feeling safe in our human suits during this great time of transition. And the Hawaiian Islands are kind of leading the charge right now on you know, the transitions and the new paradigms and the what I call the creative destruction. Creative destruction is the way of God in life. It's the way of nature. If you've been following me for a little while, you hear me talk about like life is a cycle of create, destroy, and recreate. And there's no place in the world that is more present right now than on the Big Island. And with Pele coming on real strong with transforming the topography and the soul of the Big Island through her, you know, through her volcano. I do not believe that nature gets mad at us. I don't believe in nature's fury. I believe that nature is neutral. Nature is simply seeking balance, right? Through creation, destruction, and recreation. And nature is responding to our environment or her environment. And so whatever is happening in her environment, whatever is happening on the Big Island right now in that environment that is in need of some rebalancing, it's just Pele and Mother Nature being in response to that and doing what nature does. For us humans, that's a little bit comforting, maybe a little bit not so comforting because you know, people that are obviously losing their homes and their businesses and having some challenge around having to really surrender because nature is always going to win no matter what we do, right? Nature always wins. So our heart and our blessings really go out to all the people in this moment who are living and thriving through this challenge. The Hawaiian Islands really are a gateway to the rest of the world. The Big Island is the root chakra island. Kauai is crown chakra, crown and third eye. So it's kind of interesting how the micro to the macro, the as above, so below, is taking place and really playing out on these islands. And there is a threat or a possibility of a pretty extreme earthquake potentially happening in the next couple of days while the fissures are being formed, while the lava is being moved. There is that possibility. So the best thing we can do from a logical standpoint, if we are preparing or maybe looking at that possibility, is to have some practical things in place for ourselves, for our homes, and for our families should something happen and the earth changes create a situation where, you know, where it might be more challenging for us to get fresh water and food and medical supplies and things like that. So while not going into the fear of it, it kind of just makes sense, right? To make sure that we all have some of the things we need should we be cut off from some supplies for a couple of weeks. And the best example of that I can give is, what happened on the North Shore of Kauai, that those floods caused like 12 landslides up on the North Shore and sinkholes. And those folks had nowhere to go to get anything, and everything had to be flown in and helicoptered in to them to keep them going. No one knew that was going to happen. We had no way of knowing that the waters were going to come in so fast and so hard and basically make the North Shore its own island for a while. There's a road now open for locals. 3 weeks later, they have a road open, and people who live there locally can kind of come and go a few days a week, from what I know. But what that tells us is that we never really know. And in this time of a lot of unpredictability and change, to have some things on hand to help us, to support us, and just maybe even for peace of mind, just happens to make a lot of sense. So how does everybody feel about that so far? Any comments or anything you want to say around that? You can unmute if you have anything you want to share or add. Important to know that nature doesn't get mad at us. God doesn't get mad at us. All those things are neutral. Nature, God, and life only simply responds to what needs to happen to keep life in balance. And that's what's happening right now, is life is in some way coming back into balance.
I was curious if you could elaborate about, like you say, in the Big Island being the chakra,
Mm-hmm.
each island corresponding to a chakra, like the micro and the macro of the volcano and Pele and all that creative destruction being on the chakra.
So elaborate on what that means as far as the chakras. So all the islands represent a chakra. And Big Island happens to be the root. Pele, fire. So think about how that is so connected to root chakra energy anyway, the Big Island. Mm-hmm. And then Kauai would be the crown and third eye, Kauai and Ni'ihau. And so when every island has its own flavor. They're all special. They're all wonderful. Watching the Big Island right now, watching what's happening for me, is kind of like watching a beloved relative or friend suffer. And all you can do is pray and hold space. Like, these islands are so interconnected. And just because I'm here and that's there, because of my love of Hawaii, of all the islands, and how special and important I feel they are, not only to me, but to the world, it's really interesting. And of course I know people on the Big Island too. It's this interesting paradox of just having to really hold space and pray and feeling helpless, because you can't be there and you can't do anything. All you can do is trust. I don't know if I answered your question for sure or not on that, but the Hawaiian Islands all do host an energy of the chakras. All souls enter and exit through the island of Kauai. Did you know that?
No.
They enter through the Anahola mountain range. There's a birthing heiau at the base of the Anahola Mountains. And you can Google Anahola Mountains if you want to see a picture of that. And that on the Nepali coast is where all souls exit. There's actually a big X, natural formed X, in the side of the Nepali coast. So this being where all souls, and there's a couple other places on the earth where souls enter and exit as well, but this is the main portal. So it's a pretty important gateway, Kauai and these islands. These islands hold the lineage of Lemuria. There's probably been some harp stuff that's been happening here also. We've had very interesting, strange weather for months, very rainy, rare weather pattern, and I believe that there's probably some contrived things happening on the islands that are affecting the weather patterns as well. And how I believe this is playing out on like a world spectrum is because of the life force, you know, the mana that's here on these islands. When the vibration here falls or changes, it microcosmically affects the entire world. That's what I believe. I believe these islands are that important. Really that special, and I'm not just partial. Did that answer your question, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I was wanting to learn more about kind of Lemuria and how what happens there affects everything else. That was a good explanation.
Okay, good. You know, and Kauai is the heart of Lemuria. Maui is the heart chakra island, by the way. I know you love Maui. And the legacy, you know, the ancient legacy and mythology that exists on this land through not only the Lemurians, but through, you know, the Polynesians, is really intense and really special. And whatever happens over the next weeks and months here on the islands, I have to believe, and I hope that you will all believe too, all these changes that are going to happen. We have Uranus moving into Taurus on May 15th. So if you think about Uranus as like uranium, it kind of blows everything up, it changes everything. This is a really significant planetary shift that's about to happen. 11 years ago, when Uranus was in Taurus, we had Fukushima. We had the earthquake over in Japan. And there was volcanic activity happening on the Big Island at that time too. So we're kind of repeating a cycle. Taurus is a very fixed sign. It doesn't like change, right? So Uranus coming into Taurus will not only change the earth on a microcosmic level, earth changes, but also it's about what's going to blow up in our lives, right? Like what it's going to blow up is kind of a harsh word. Maybe we won't use blow up, but maybe we'll like severely ask us to alter or change or look at that maybe is not authentic or in integrity. Taurus is about worldly stuff. It's about our physical world. It's about material stuff, material items. It's about worthiness. So when that happens in a week or so, we really are going to see, and I can't remember how long Uranus is in Taurus. Maybe, you know what, it might be 7 years. That sounds right. When Uranus comes back into Taurus, we are going to see all kinds of really big changes happening. So how do we stay grounded, stay centered through in the midst of the chaos? You know, it's the creative destruction is basically going to be organized chaos that doesn't really feel so organized all the time. So if you have been following me for a while, I talk about grounding, how to ground, and I teach people to not ground into the earth. I used to teach people to ground into the earth, and years ago I stopped that because I got the message from Spirit that it's not really safe for us anymore to ground into the earth because of all these changes that are happening. And not only is it not really safe and stable, the earth is doing her own healing. And she is really asking us to step up into our sovereignty, okay, and into our self-responsibility by grounding into ourselves and sending a line up to the cosmos, up to Spirit for that grounding, and not to rely on her anymore. For one thing, that keeps us all, our energy, our bodies, safer. And it allows her the peace and the space to do what she needs to do because we're taking responsibilities for ourselves. So in a few minutes, we're going to go through a meditation. And I'm going to show you or lead you through a meditation that I like to use to ground into our Earth Star Chakra, which is the chakra that is down beneath our feet. Most of the time it shows up this color, which is the color of one of my shaman Andaras. I've been working a lot with my Andaras through this because they are super grounding for me. Usually Earth Star Chakra shows up really deep, dark brown. Now, some of you, when we go into this meditation, might see yours a different color, and that's okay too. It's your chakra. You get to take a look at what color it shows up for you. But mine shows up this really deep, rich, chocolatey, rootberry brown. So we're going to ground into our Earth Star chakra and then come up into our hearts, anchor into our high heart, and then send a line up through the cosmic, up through the great central sun, or to your home planet, or whatever you like in the cosmos, to help bring in that feeling of all is well. And that feeling of being able to sustain and support ourselves, even through really challenging moments in time and earth changes. And, we all want to feel safe, right? The body wants to feel safe. The reality is we're always safe because we're eternal. We're eternal beings. We are always safe. And we are always in the right place at the right time. So no matter where you are, this is the place or the space you have contracted or agreed to be in this moment, which means you're in the right place. I believe that there's no place that God is not. I believe that God is present everywhere, that there are no accidents, and that everything is working itself out in the very highest of divine plans. I have to believe that. If I don't believe that, I might lose my shit. Right? So that it's not even a faith for me. Like that knowledge that I am exactly where I need to be at all times keeps me sane. I really have trust that I made an agreement on some level to be here and see the Hawaiian Islands through this transition. It's a huge honor and a privilege for me to be here on this island right now, to be on Hawaii and hold space and be a part of what's happening here, because I think it's bigger than we know. I don't think we've seen the last of what's going to happen on the Big Island and the ripple effect of what's going to happen beyond that. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I do know that I am eternal, and that if my agreement or my assignment on this planet is over tomorrow, then I get to go on and do something else. And I have a lot of peace with that. Matter of fact, some days I think, thank God, maybe I won't have to keep doing this, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be here for a while. I'm pretty sure that I'm contracted to be in my human suit for many years to come. But should I not be correct, that's okay too. Because it just means that this soul gets to move on to another great privilege or assignment for God. So where was I going with all this? Oh yeah, staying grounded and learning to teach yourself, and so many of us are empathic, or I really like to use the word, we're intuitive. So many of us are extremely intuitive and sensitive, and we feel not only each other's anxieties, our family, our friends, even people we don't know. We feel so much collective anxiety, and we also pick up a lot from the earth. We pick up a lot of energy from the earth and the energy that's coming down through the cosmos. So that's a lot of energy. And as really deeply intuitive, empathic people, sometimes it's really hard to know what anxiety really belongs to us, is being generated through us, through our frequency, and what we're absorbing through the other effects, through the other ways that, the other frequencies and energies that come through. Anybody have anything else anybody have any questions or anything you want to say or ask before I go on? I know I'm talking a lot. Plug in my cord. Yeah, and prayers for sure. Prayer works, prayer helps. Prayer will probably not prevent what is destined to happen, because nature will always ultimately decide. But we can pray that the loss of life and the loss of even physical belongings that people are going to go through, and the loss of health, that be as minimal as possible as the earth is going through her clearing and cleansing. And that people find support, and that people find community, and they find resources to help them out. Looked like somebody raised their hand on here. Did you have something that you wanted to say? I just unmuted you. Are we good? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah. Hi. Sorry.
Hi. I think it's me on my end. Yeah, I'm listening to you, and I agree, but I'm feeling very sad. Are you really feeling that strong that like the islands are going to go through more?
Yeah. We're not, the islands aren't going to sink. That's not going to happen. I don't believe either that the islands are going to be destroyed by an earthquake. But the possibility of a quake is pretty high. It's pretty high. That's just the reality of it right now. And because everything, all the plates and everything, and I'm not a geologist. I'm not super well versed on this, but I do know about the interconnectedness of the plates, to different parts of the world. And so if there is a quake on the islands, it will affect other parts of the planet, because it all works together. So having said that, please don't allow that to bring any unnecessary anxiety. Okay.
It's just sad. It's not anxiety. It's a good awareness to have.
It's sad because there will be people who will suffer.
Right.
But it's also really exciting. It's exciting to see nature in the throes of so much great change. For me, it feels like a blessing to be here and experience all of this, because it's all divine. And everybody, no matter where they are on the islands or in the world, have agreed to be there at this time and to move through this with Hawaii. I mean, who knows? Maybe a brand new landmass will emerge. Everything. It's for me. It's also really exciting and really an honor to be here.
Yeah. I hear you, and
it's big.
It's huge.
Yeah,
that's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. Like
it is beautiful,
yeah.
and even destruction is beautiful. If you look at that lava flow, have you been watching videos? It's stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
That intense creative process of lava, and knowing, the Pele energy and what's happening on that. It's beautiful. We are seeing history.
Yeah.
We're seeing new land being created. We're seeing literal new earth being created. So it's paradoxical. Everything's paradoxical. Like, it's really kind of sad on one side, because there's some people who are legit suffering. I think about the North Shore too. I don't know if you guys have ever been up to the North Shore of Kauai, but it's really crowded with tourism up there. It's been really crowded over the years, and just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. and people all day long coming up and down that 2-lane road that goes up to KA Beach and stopping, and so overloaded with tourists. And, you know, the jungle up there is so beautiful and so pristine. And there's a lot of local families who've lived on that land for a very, very long time. And I know that it's hard on them. All the traffic is really hard on the local people, and specifically the Hawaiians who have been there for a very long time. And I have to wonder how many of them have sat and thought, oh, I just wish there was a way that all these tourists could go away. We could have our land back. You know, I wish there was a way. I wish just something would happen and all these people would just disappear and we could just have our peace and quiet again, right? I know they've been thinking that. So that being so strong in the collective energy up there, you don't think that's going to like create something?
Blessing in disguise, maybe.
You know, and it will be a long time before tourism is open up there again. I don't even know if it's really going to happen before the end of the year. Maybe longer. And I think that things will have to change. I don't know how. But I don't think that we can allow the onslaught of tourists to invade that land in the way that they have, because I think it just got too much. Mm-hmm. Hawaii is very sacred, mm-hmm. and isn't always honored as sacred and special. And me, I mean, I've been a resident here only for a little over 2 years. Even I sometimes go up there and I go to the Blue Room, which is a goddess cave, or I go to the sacred places, and I think, gosh, do I really belong here? Should I really be here? And I try to treat it with as much reverence and respect as possible, because I get to live here. It is really an incredible blessing. And because I bring people here, like, to give back to this island who gives people so much, it's more important. I mean, it's very important to restore that balance. Again, it's about balance and harmony and harmonizing with this land. And I don't know exactly how that needs to take place on the North Shore from here on out. But certainly we have a sign that it needs to somehow take place. And sometimes those signs come in very dramatically. And so that's what we received, is a very dramatic experience. And I don't think it was a lesson. I think it was an experience, a contrasting experience in how we as a community here need to, what we can allow and not allow, and how we need to hold that, really the whole island, all of the islands in great reverence, because we're getting a message, right? We're getting the message.
Yeah. Thank you for that perspective.
Yeah, you're welcome. Again, it's super paradoxical. Yeah. It's like, I want to celebrate in a way because I know it's right for Hawaii. But then there's also the loss of, these people who, and thank God up there, they had the resources to bring people food and fresh water, because there's been no fresh water up there at all. Kids who can't go to school, people who can't go to work, people who have to pay mortgages and they can't leave to go to their jobs. So it's very paradoxical in the way it's all happening, but it's all divine too. It's what they have contracted to experience, just like we contract with God, all the things that we are here to experience. And so just always praying for the highest and most benevolent outcome for all, while nature does her thing. Nature's always going to win. Can't fight it. Can only move with, we can only move with this planet and with the energy flowing against what's happening. We'll never win. Yeah, so thank you for asking about that and asking for further clarification. What I really want people to get and understand who are watching this later is that there will be many, many other occurrences on this planet, like there always has been, of the creative destruction and of land masses changing and us having to adopt to a new normal. And as we create this new earth, as we come along for the ride of the creation, our perspective, it's always going to be our perspective that determines how we're going to move through. You know, how, I guess, successful we're going to be in integrating with what's becoming new. And for each person, that's going to be a little different. Some lives will change a lot. All lives will change some lives will change a lot. And it doesn't mean it's karma or anybody's being punished either. I don't believe that. I don't believe that we are creating karma through nature. And that's the experience or the lesson we're having. It's just simply what each soul agrees to experience and participate in, and how we choose to look at it. Yeah.
Well said. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to express myself this way. It's just as vital for me, maybe more vital for me, to talk and express out these things that I feel and sense from spirit, to share them certainly, but for me to get them out of my body and get them moving out into the world, it means a lot to me. So thank you just as much for listening and allowing for that. Having said that, I would like to take you all through a meditation to help you to ground into yourselves and into your heart centers, and find some tools and resources that will allow you to feel, in moments of maybe great anxiety, to remember presence. Remember God's presence. Remember that everything around us is illusion, including these bodies, or really even including the idea that we're not safe is an illusion, because we are eternal. But our bodies need to feel safe. We get to learn to bring that feeling into our energy field and imprint our energy field, despite maybe what's going on around us. So your Earth Star Chakra, if you're not familiar with it, is down beneath our feet. And if you just want to maybe put a couple of feet on the floor, if you can, and you can close your eyes and just tap into that energy that resides underneath your feet. This is actually our first chakra, the Earth Star Chakra. Big, beautiful ball of spinning light. And whatever color yours shows up for you is just fine. Mine shows up as this very deep, rich brown, but yours might be something else. And you'll know you're connecting to it because you start to feel a little magnetic pull on the soles of your feet. And your feet and your legs might feel a little heavy. And those are just indications that you're connecting to your Earth Star Chakra, maybe for the first time. And when I do this exercise, it always immediately brings my energy back to me and causes, like, the heaviness that you might be feeling in your body through this is a good sign. It means that you are tuning into your physical self and breathing. Breathing, always a really good idea. Nice, deep in through the nose and exhale, belly breaths down into the Earth Star Chakra, and bringing that stillness and that presence into your physical body through breath, through tuning into your Earth Star Chakra is really the first step in coming home to your body, and coming home to a feeling of all is well, and releasing anxiety. You know, we humans are great big energy fields. We're great big energy frequency generators. We generate frequency and energy, and we also absorb it. And it seems like we mostly absorb it. So when you're absorbing energetics around you, it prohibits you from being a frequency generator, which is ideally what we want to do, is generate our own vibration and frequency. So what is authentic and pure for us out into the world, and not take on so much of the energetics and the frequencies around us, and generate that instead. When we're in our own sovereignty, and sovereignty simply means not being affected by anything else other than the self and God. that the energetic field is imbued or imprinted with the energy of the God source, right? Energy of our higher self, which automatically brings calm and peace, because that is the one true, that is the one true connection. So as you are feeling down into your Earth Star chakra and just breathing and listening to the sound of my voice, you all know, maybe you know, that you have an energy field around your body 360 degrees, yeah? Above your head, below your feet, front to back, side to side. That is the little energetic bubble known as your aura that surrounds your field at all times. Everybody, everything has an aura, has a field of energy around it. It's a field of light around it. So if you just kind of want to call up your aura around your body 360 degrees and feel, and if this is a new exercise for you, it's okay. Just use your imagination. Our imagining makes everything real. Our imagination doesn't mean it's make-believe. Everything that is created comes through imagination. All matter starts, all creation starts through thought, through imagining. And then through putting emotional charge behind that thought, because it's really our emotions, our thoughts come and go all the time. Most of our thoughts don't have much of an effect on the world, but the ones that we put a lot of emotional charge behind have great effect on ourselves and a great effect on the planet. So if you want to change your reality, change your vibrational field, a good way to start is through breath and grounding the Earth Star chakra and just imagining your energy field around your body 360 degrees. And if you like to fill your field with a color, it's kind of nice. Some people like to use white light. I like to fill mine with white light, but if you like some other color, all colors are good colors. All colors are a vibration. Pink typically represents unconditional love. Blue is calm. Yellow is power. If you would like to bring in with the white light, bring in a color into your field, that's lovely too. Again, this is about you personalizing your own vibration and you making free will choices to choose what feels good, what feels best to you in this moment. And that feeling good and reaching for better feeling thoughts and feelings, that creates and expands a more magical reality. So meditation and visualization is a really big part of creation and of manifesting and of bringing, again, that feeling of joy, because the prime direction of our soul, always joy. That's really the only reason we are here, is for joy. And it is okay for you to feel joyful, to feel good and happy, even when there are dramatic events happening on the planet, events happening in your families, in your communities. Sometimes we feel kind of guilty if we feel good and happy going on with our lives while others are experiencing suffering. So I would like to share with you and dispel that idea that if you have that idea that you need to feel bad, or if you feel guilty for feeling good, please stop that. Doesn't mean you don't have empathy, doesn't mean you don't care. It simply means you are taking responsibility for your own energetic frequency and vibration and continuing to be a conscious creator of joy. And what in this world offsets lower vibrations better than joy, than love, particularly self-love, right? You love yourself, you love your life, you create good things in your life that is going to offset lots and lots and lots of lower vibrations that could be happening elsewhere. And when you generate energy for yourself through God source, when you generate vibrations, high vibrations, when you fill yourself up, that actually gives you an opportunity to share more with other people who might need it. if you're empty, if you're down and out, if you're feeling low vibrational, low energy, it's pretty hard to help the world. Us being abundant and healthy and happy, and I've got a couple new people on, welcome. Us feeling abundant, healthy, happy, joyful allows us to give more to the planet than us feeling in lack or unhealthy or sad. And whoever, for you all just joining us, if you would mute yourself, that would be wonderful. And I'll meet and talk with you in a few minutes. We're just getting ready to go through a meditation for grounding and centering and connecting to source through our Earth Star chakra beneath our feet and raising up our vibrations. And we're going to connect up through our high heart, which is right at the thymus, and up into the galactic center, and utilize the God force within and around us, and utilize our own bodies and our own energy centers for transformation and transmutation, and feeling like we can continue to thrive no matter what exterior circumstances might be. And again, I'm going to encourage you to thrive. I'm going to encourage you to take care of yourselves. I'm going to encourage you to think and embody and imprint yourself with thoughts and feelings and self-care that allow you to feel abundant and healthy and purposeful. Sabine, that might be you that needs to be muted. And Cindy too. If you guys would mute yourselves up, that would be terrific. You should find a mute button somewhere if you scroll around. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much, gals. Thank you. And thank you for joining us just in time for this meditation. And I'll just mention again that if you want to go down to your Earth Star chakra beneath your feet, that's what we're going to anchor to instead of the planet. Planet's doing her own cleansing and clearing and healing, and is asking us to be sovereign and self-responsible with our own energy and our own intentions. So bringing that breathing down into the body. Just breath is a great relaxer, and anchoring all the way down into the Earth Star chakra and opening up our auras, opening up our energy field 360 degrees around us. Just feeling that expansiveness of being in our own sacred space, being in our own field, our own aura. And if this is new for you, getting familiar with your Earth Star and your aura, it's kind of nice. Auras are our sacred spaces. It is the one thing, I guess, that we do get to control, ourselves and our energy. Can't always control the things that happen around us, but we do get to have sovereignty and have authority over our own energy. We just maybe need to be taught how sometimes. So feeling into make sure you feel around the back of your body too. Just feel around your back and just open that up. And I've asked everybody to bring in a color if you'd like, white light or any color that feels good to you. And just fill up your energy field. And I am going to begin to release the gold ray down from the great central sun down over all of us. And why the gold ray? Because I feel that is the strongest, most pure, cleansing, high vibrational ray that the divine offers. Gold is the Christed ray. Gold is about abundance. Gold is about empowerment and purification and alignment with the Christ light. And when you are doing this meditation, if you like, on your own, of course you can ask the gold ray to come and embody you. Of course you can call down the gold ray yourself. It's available to all of us. And in this moment, just feeling your entire energy field being just that beautiful liquid gold light, however that comes through for you, just completely filling your field all the way from the very top of your infinite gateway and beyond, all the way down to your Earth Star chakra. And just feel how good that feels. To be completely surrounded and held by the Christ light ray, and how calming that feels. You know, and you guys can practice this at any time if you'd like. Brings in that just instant peace. And so focusing on, I would like you to put your attention on your Earth Star chakra down beneath your feet. Just place your attention right there and really feel that divine ray anchored into all through you down below your feet. I'm going to go as above, so below. And as you are feeling into your Earth Star chakra, also come into your high heart, which is between the throat and the heart chakra. It's right at the thymus gland. And high heart is fifth dimensional energy center, all about receiving. Heart's about our giving, our expressing love, and our high heart is really about receiving and knowing our worthiness. And so please bring a line of energy up from your Earth Star chakra all the way up through your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, and just anchor that right into your high heart. And decide in this moment to be a good receiver. Decide in this moment just to simply be and accept. And feel the miracle of the breath moving through your body, and the miracle of the heart beating in your chest, knowing that these things that we feel on the physical plane, the sound of my voice, maybe the feeling of your feet on the floor, the sound of your heartbeat, these are simply things that are given to us because we get to be human, part of the human 3D physical experience. That the soul of you, the truth of you that is connected to God and connected to your higher self, it's kind of like this gold ray. It's pure, it's eternal, it's accessible all the time to all of us. As you connect into your high heart and just breathe in that beautiful feeling of accepting and receiving, go ahead and move that line or that column of energy up through your throat and your third eye and your crown chakra to your light star and your infinite gateway, and just anchor up into the great central sun, beautiful column of light. You can go to your home planet if you're familiar with that. You can go up to the sun itself if you like it. Or you can just allow that line of energy, that column of light, just to go to where it will feed you the best. Right now, you are going to get fed. Anchoring up into the great central sun, up into the cosmos from your Earth Star chakra, and then bringing that energy back down into your field. Just opening up and asking it for it to feed you, nurture you. It's being a complete state of allowing and peace. And tapping into that knowledge, or that wisdom of our eternalness, the eternalness of our being. And that your willingness to allow your frequency to stay high through self-love, through receiving, through joy, is not only one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself, but it's really one of the greatest gifts that you can give to this planet. Because when you are filled up when you are feeling abundant and joyful, we have much more to give to others because we've allowed ourselves to receive first. So as things continue to unfold on this planet in the days and the years and the months ahead, remember that you still get to create as a joyful creator, joyful co-creator. The universe is infinite in abundance. You will never take from someone else. You will never bring in what should be going to someone else, because we all are here to experience the abundance. And really, what has your name on it? What is meant for you is meant for you, unstoppable, unfathomable anyway. So you might as well just say yes, because as you accept and receive, that actually doesn't take it, multiplies. It multiplies everybody else's experience and ability to receive. Now just let you sit for another moment or so, in just the beautiful, pure bliss of the gold ray in your own energy field. When you begin to feel a little anxious or sideways or unsure, tap straight up into source energy. Bring it up through your body, straight into source energy. That will always, always refill your cup, refill your field. When we are in peace, that's when solutions present themselves. When we are in bliss, contentment, receiving mode, that's when all of life's quandaries begin to become resolved. And then with just a nice deep breath, anchoring in all my words, all those intentions, all the messages maybe you are receiving. When you're ready to return to this time and space, you can feel free to do so. And we'll give an aloha to the few people who have joined us while I've been gone. Aloha. Thank you for being here. You all will have to, I'm going to put this webinar up as a YouTube video in the next day or two, so you can go back and listen to everything, all the information that was passed. But thank you for coming in for the meditation and adding to that. And if anybody wants to unmute themselves or your camera and do any sharing or ask any questions, now's a great time to do that. So you are invited.
Hi, I have a question.
Who is this?
This is Summer.
Hi, Summer.
Okay, here, can you see me now? I figured it out.
Yay! Aloha.
Okay, hi. I'm here by my little orchid garden. I don't know if you can see it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I love the fact when you said that when you're at peace, that resolutions start to come in.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. That's really a great point.
When we're anxious and all out of balance, it's like God can't talk to us, because there's too much. Yeah,
that's really powerful. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's really it's amazing when when you have perfect timing and the thing that you needed to hear, just the perfect sentence.
Yeah, good.
Makes the magic connection. I love that. So
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really powerful. That's what we need, though. We need I'm going to go outside here. We need to have I don't know, we need to make room in our day and in our lives for I guess to have those moments, like it was such a struggle for me to even remember that this event was happening, and like I just felt all out of whack today, and my allergies are bad. I'm in Texas, and it's finally really hot out, and so the plants are all blooming and going crazy, and you know, it's just so important to make time for this type of stuff.
Yeah,
in
you
our
know,
lives.
and even 2 or 3 minutes, a couple times a day.
Yes.
You don't have to be one of those people, you know, who sits and meditates for an hour or hours a day, because for most of us, we just don't have time for that. Or the energy. So
and
just
so
tune in a couple times a day, or whenever you feel like, oh, you know, go, if you're at work, go sit on the bathroom stall toilet and take yourself through this, and just come back to yourself for a couple of minutes. It will really change everything.
Yes. Yeah. Cause that's really, I mean, it's life changing. And I was even late coming into the event right here with you. And it's just like, oh, but I made it just in the perfect time to hear what I needed to hear.
Love it.
I love that. So thank you. You're such a great blessing in my life. Thank you so much for doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, because it makes such a huge, incredible difference. And I've really learned a lot. Like, whatever's on your to-do list, people, this should be most important.
Yeah.
Because it's so nurturing. I can kind of hear, you know, like it's almost like it connects you to the soul.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, and that's the whole objective.
For
Soul-led. You know,
sure.
you guys know my tagline, be soul-led.
Yes.
Let
and
your
for
soul
real.
magnetize you to everything. It's effortless when we do that. When we just surrender to our soul, it becomes magical and effortless.
Totally
Try
effortless.
to control it.
Or here's my favorite thing to do is I'm just going to think my way through it. I'm just going to find a resolution. And that's the worst thing to do for me.
Yeah.
Literally, I get farther from resolution when I try to think my way through it.
Hey, stay out of the mind. It's a bad neighborhood.
It's so much
it's a bad neighborhood. Stay out of your mind.
It so much is. It really is. That's so hilariously funny that you say that, because, you know, the ego will be like, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that. And then I'm like, efforting. And then I feel like I'm going to die. Like, my physical body's exhausted.
Yeah, it's the difference between efforting and allowing.
Yes, that is brilliant, my friend. You're brilliant.
Thank you. Hey, I mostly talk to myself, just so you know.
Well, I'm listening. I
mostly have to hear all this myself.
My mason jar of water in me. We're having a good time with
Perfect.
it.
Yeah.
But so magical. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, darling.
Okay. All right. Bye, Ameera.
Bye. Anybody else have anything to share? Anything to speak into the webinar? Everybody good?